Hello again, everyone. So, okay. Last video, I was running around without Kim. Got the boots and talked to the Joy Squad. I also opened up a couple of slots that I rejected. But now thinking about it, I kind of want to go back and accept those thoughts. I don't know if you can actually like go back. Okay, this is right before getting the boots. I think I want to go back here in order to go before talking with Joyce. I can go through the dialogue options again, and okay, yeah.
Can I help you?
I just saved, so let's...
Do I have a shaker in my hand? Is this a shaker?
It's not a shaker. It's nothing. He's holding nothing. It is but an imitation.
Am I wearing a little bow tie? Am I wearing a bow tie and doing this?
He shakes the imaginary shaker furiously.
Am I smiling? Do you see me smiling and shaking my little shaker? No. Do you know why?
Because you're not a bartender?
That's right. I'm the cafeteria manager. I'm glad we cleared that. Was there anything else?
Play it calm. This man needs to understand you need a drink to help the community deal with police stuff.
I want an effing drink. You don't understand the seriousness of the situation. I'm an alcoholic. I need my fix. I'm an alcohol-operated detective. You want me to clean up the dead body and solve the case, and you need to insert alcohol in my mouth. Fine then, I had something else I needed.
Like what?
Okay. I was just curious. I don't want him to have alcohol because, like... Okay. So this is before I talk to Joyce. Probably. But I believe I ended up talking to Joyce late into the night, so... Okay, let me get the boots first. Before talking to Joyce.
The man is decomposing visibly now. Every hour, he looks less like a creature and more like a pile of intestines.
Try to remove the dead man's boots again.
The body is reluctant to let go of the boots, as though it were its last bit of dignity.
Whoa! Kuno's little sneak pig's back for the booty.
Yeah, fuck it to pieces for us, liar cop.
It's not completely. It feels like just relax.
Because...
This is easy. It's heavier than... Damn, you're out of shape. In your defense, the corpse was quite slippery. This is the right method. It takes some time.
Look, he's skinning.
Hell.
The legs, yes.
But
Didn't
I
the
did
word
this before. Okay. So, have the boots. I am gonna go back to the kitchen in order to clean them off, which kitchen closed last time, so this is actually gonna be new. And then I'm gonna go talk to Joyce and go through the, find out all the things. Again. My webcam turned off, that's fun. that real quick? Not, then I'll just leave it. Yeah, unfortunately, I think I'm gonna need a new webcam. Which sucks, but to be fair, this was... I got it for free from my mom because she got a new, better one, so... This is probably why she got a new, better one. It doesn't work most of the time. Just didn't realize that. Okay.
This industrial gas-powered stove has been used to prepare food for many hungry hostel guests. There are several pots and pans on hand. Getting the corpse residue out of these boots is going to require patience, and also a huge pot full of boiling water, soap, and white vinegar.
Check out the cleaning supplies.
There is a variety of soaps and bleaches in the cabinet to the left of the stove. There is also a bottle of white vinegar in the cabinet next to the fridge. It's bad with those boots. Don't be stingy now.
Soap, that's exactly what I need. Pour lots of dish soap into the pot. The boots are really disgusting. Pour some dish soap and the bottle of white vinegar into the pot.
The delicious smells of cheap soap and vinegar waft up from the pot.
Vinegar works really well for cleaning a rat.
All right now, chef. Light up the stove and boil them.
Check out the
A
cooker.
commercial pot draws your attention. It's very large, gigantic even. It could be used to make enough stew to feed an entire city, and also to boil a putrid pair of death boots.
Add water and the boots to the pot, bring it all to a nice boil.
The strong smell of vinegar forces you to step away from the pot. The water slowly comes to a boil.
Oh no.
Strips of polymer fabric and human tissue separate from the lining of the boots.
Okay.
They float
I was
to the
suddenly
bubbling
scared that,
surface.
I somehow mixed, there was some bleacher, something mixed in the thing, and there, I was gonna wait some more.
The boots look cleaner and cleaner. Those bits of human flesh are beginning to look cooked. You can smell it too, just like beef stew. That's it, chef. The boots are as clean as they're going to get. Steam dense with the smell of strange meat disappears into the vent above the stove.
Dump the sock into fresh stew and examine your new boots.
A pair of real beauties. The boots are shiny, hot, and reek of vinegar. Just perfect.
Master Chef out. Okay. Fairweather greaves. These greaves are light as feathers and just a tad too big for you, but don't let that bother you. These on, you look like some kind of future warrior, and they'll keep you safe if you accidentally shoot yourself in the foot. They're worth it. Beautiful. Okay. Let's go talk to Miss Joyce again, and hopefully go faster, because I'm pretty sure the last time I spent pretty much the entire episode talking to her. I keep looking over at myself, and it doesn't matter because I don't have my webcam on. Well, I tried to put it on, but it's not working. Okay. Let's try this again. Test, test. Okay. So at least the mouth seems to be working. So from the mic. Whatever. Mouth didn't. Ooh, door. Cheers.
You're back. Good. What can I help you with at this late hour?
Tonight, don't you ever sleep?
Matter of fact, I don't.
She takes another sip. Why is that?
I have a medical condition of my own. Nothing unusual, though. I'm old, you see.
Old, huh? I think I have that too.
Don't worry. It's curable. With questions. Ask me some. It'll help pass this night. More lessons in basic reality? My favorite part of the day. Go ahead, ask me anything. These are unimportant for the the revolution. It's quite easy. Every 100 years or so, our species gets together to decide what's next. Who gets... Those would be the... Oh,
She likes the totality.
indeed. Did they ever? Yes. Yes. Oh, lots of... The real king abdicated and... Yes. Him and tens of thousands of his wonder... The liberals got the mineral rights. And by liberals are usually middle class. Some were rich enough to stay with the... They didn't...
We.
To foreign intervention. The coalition. The liberals took everything... The coalition of nations. The moralists, at least not this, is their zone.
The color of moral.
A devout man of the the turn of the revolution began in '02. It wasn't a who, but a what. A pandemic from Revachol and Grad? Not far. Why? You and I, officer. A city, the zone of modernity.
51.
Time flies. The 20s saw a the 30s, no. It was a welcome to reality.
For her to be where she is.
They picked the winning side. That's why they're here. And perhaps it wouldn't have turned out that I would have 10 of the 14 Indo tribes. Good question. And I asked you. Past less detective of the citizens' militia. You and everyone else. They are what? Anyway.
Not so fast. Who is she in all this? Ask her who she is. She owes you an answer. She won't maneuver her way.
I am an ultra. Yes. I am the nether creature. I can see you thought our kind were all devil.
That dialect is Ubisunt. You reckon?
Ah. I hope we're... When the dust settled, the liberals were with you. I would not... Then for my daughters. Yes. I suppose I am. Perhaps.
You're no dummy yourself. And the crown on your head as you lay in the casket.
Yes. Whatever else I am. A bird? A Svenis? Some sort of krill hunter? No, wait. You're an ancient ruin. A symbol of hubris and decay. Half submerged in some salty sea.
Are you saying I'm ruined?
Of course you're not, my dear. I'm just terrible at guessing game. Ah, or two. A pre-revolution. This one, mostly the herb.
You could.
Wonderful. The girl in the old lady rags looks like a... Yes, she prefers a fantasy world. Young people who dye their hair funny colors and wear old people... All right.
Suddenly, you're not so sure.
And what would that be? Nothing infra about those days, the new. It involved lots of partying, as you might imagine, and champagne color. Wasn't it?
For some reason, your mind is a...
The girl in the old lady rags looks like a... Yes, she prefers a fantasy world. I can't. All right.
Suddenly, you're not so...
And what would that...
She lets out an unrestrained laugh, the crow's feet stretching onto her cheeks.
What's so funny about that?
Nothing. It's just, glad to have been a...
What's this? We're getting reports
so
of
I'm gonna
normal,
grab the moralist,
reasonable,
and if I can
temperate,
still keep grabbing them
political
after that, I'm gonna
opinions
grab
somewhere in Martinez.
whatever the other one was. Ultra liberal. Oh, the ultra. Putting ultra before things makes them sound cooler.
It's also about that, but it's also its time to become a citizen of the kingdom of conscience. It is not a place. It is in history's greatest. That's the genius of Dolores Day. Tisk tisk, you may never. What rationality? The kingdom is partly because it's also post-industrial, post-ideological, and even post. Slow down, Mr. Reason. That's right. Remember, wow, you work hard. Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. Look at you. That is the sign of a little. It ain't easy, but you. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Sure. Are you rich? That's right. You work because of the tax is almost non-existent in the Gotham estate. You and I both 98% of all your money.
Okay. I was kind of thinking that accepting one might block me out of the other, but
Here
I
you
didn't
go,
think
hustler.
so. Ooh, more thoughts. He's the one that tells me about drugs, right? Yeah. Running people is not what I want to do, so that might actually be good. Okay, so it's now 1:59. Like a map and like fast travel? This is like a map. Okay, acquire a copy of the city map. That's perfect. It makes sense to be,
Just an ordinary war. Nothing to see here. Yeah. Why?
let's get some of these white shells. I'll be able to figure out what's going on with this.
An inconspicuous pile of the roofing material. A mirror hangs on the bathroom wall. In it, your face, adorned with the expression.
Locate the source of the expression.
It belongs in the new, the third decade of the current century. Enough time had passed from the failure of the revolution that, for a fleeting moment, free market economy seemed like the ultimate, uncontested way of life for our species.
Okay.
Things were good. It was smooth sailing. People made gold and champagne-tinted interiors and facades to suit the times, calling this the new style. But more importantly, disco happened. Forget about ostentatious orchestrations. For Revachol, your city, that meant only one thing. Guillaume le Million. If it doesn't rhyme, you're not pronouncing it right. Out of the dazzling swirl of disco music, in an open-air boîte de nuit somewhere in Revachol West, Guillaume's blonde mane appeared on the screen. He sang some bullshit. Then he made the expression.
So I adopted it. Why?
Everyone loved it. Maybe you thought some of the stardust would rub off on you. Maybe it did. Either way, it's all gone now. Only the grimace remains.
I feel the need to add a clicking sound when I make it click click.
The click is used to spur on a horse. It also features heavily in Guillaume le Million's regional mega hit, Don't Worry, Your Pretty Little Head. Sometimes you like to add finger pistols to the mix because, unlike Guillaume le Million, you are a police officer. It's your nifty little way to say, I'm armed and dangerous.
How long ago was the new?
There is a vast ocean of time between right now and the expression. Looking good on you, or anyone. 2 decades, if the calendar is to be trusted. Humanity has run aground in that time. It's a different world now. The expression is a relic.
Anything else, like who I am? Why did I become a cop? Why did I drink myself into oblivion?
You have some understanding of the near history of disco, plus the trivia you've picked up along the way. Episodic memory, however, remains in the dark. It may never return. You should prepare yourself for that.
Does this have anything to do with ostentatious orchestration?
Not really. OO must have just stirred your mind. They're more like a disco rock band anyway.
I guess that's it then.
It doesn't have to be. You can swoon over Guillaume and his champagne-corked smile whenever you want to. Maybe some of the stardust will return.
I mean, I'll try to stop it. I doubt it's gonna happen. Oh, I can... I think I have... Stroke chemistry.
A mirror hangs on the bathroom wall. In it, your face, adorned with the expression, still not happening.
Yeah, kind of figured that. Okay. Interfacing. Let's look at the ledger again.
It's the ledger you found in the trash. A cabbage of papers hanging from the board, with the permeables drawer inside. It's barely held together by a clip,
Get rid
then
of
made
lumps
complete
and long
by
by
the faint
hand.
smell of
Let's-
urinal cleaner.
It's only medium. Let's try it.
Is not what you end up doing. You squeeze the plastic to slide it open, but nothing happens. Then you bend it some, then crack it. The goddamn thing is stuck. The ledger quivers in your hand. As it shakes, the pages rustle. This pathetic mess, suddenly afraid of you. Arson. Petty, you don't exactly. It takes about half an hour to piece one together, using the system you've devised. Which one do you want?
47 minutes on that. So, the unsolvable case.
AKA Leslie and Burke, AKA the public indecency drunk and the property damage drunk, is a cursed case. It has been passed from unsuspecting officer to unsuspecting officer for 10 years. On January 29, the unsolvable case made its way to you. Why you accepted it, it is unclear. Every officer, and indeed most civilians in Jamrock, know it's unsolvable. Leslie will always take his pants off when he's drunk. Burke will always trash everything. It's just what they do. It is their nature. You cannot change the nature of a man, and you can't lock them away because public indecency and small-scale property damage are not punishable by incarceration. The only way for Leslie to stop flashing his genitals to bypassers and for Burke to stop dismantling signage and rear-view mirrors would be for them to stop drinking alcohol, which, in their 40s or 50s, it's hard to tell because of their distorted features, is a medical improbability on par with you ceasing to produce the expression.
Couldn't we just keep them off the streets?
You would think that, but you're wrong. Where's the fun in exposing your genitals or breaking stuff in your own home? No, Leslie and Burke are on the corner of Main Street and Perdition, because that's where the action is. Can you keep yourself off the streets? Threatening fines, dragging them to the station, locking them up in the hellholes they live in, locking them up in the station, hypnotherapy, even trying to get the local gang of Zemyaki to take them out. The Zemyaki gave them ethanol, so Burke and Leslie would expose and rampage even harder. You tried it all, and still the complaints wouldn't stop, as they hadn't stopped for 10 years. It's plain to see from the files that you, Satellite Officer JV, and Special Consultant TH had more important cases to attend to. You uncover cross-reference to several ongoing investigations, each brought to a standstill every time you drive down Main Street. Because there they are, on the corner of Perdition. And what is Leslie doing?
Leslie is the property damage. No. Burke is the trashing one. Leslie is public indecency.
Good, you're learning. If the files are to be trusted, that's all there is to it. That and Burke breaking things, and the fact that they're both drunk. But then again, so are you. The case becomes considerably less comic one day when Burke takes a swing at your ledger. He must have it confused with the property he likes to damage. But the joke's on him. You're drunk out of your mind on potent Pilsner. You slam the hardened plastic board in his face. Then you proceed to beat him unconscious with it. In the process, the ledger sustains damage. The compartment within, reserved for permeable documents, is jammed shut. You stop your assault on the now unconscious Burke to open it, but are unable to do so. The officer began to cry, reports Leslie, who, at this point, is tending to Burke. He came at us, and at us. I think he was trying to kill Burko. While trying to kill Burko, you slowly come around. The permeables compartment is open. You've smashed it open on poor Burko's kneecaps. The good news is, Burke can't walk anymore. Can't get out of his apartment, an invalid. With Burke to tend to, Leslie cuts back on the indecent exposure. Maybe he flashes his genitals to Burke. Who knows? But both drunks are off the street. The complaints stop. The unsolvable case is solved.
Wow, that...
Which is also why the officer responsible narrowly escapes a disciplinary hearing. The end. Do you want to read another one? Not much is
something... yeah.
Jamais vu. Derealization. Jamais vu. The opposite of déjà vu. Not already seen, but never seen. Everything that should be familiar appears strange and new, like some half-forgotten day in your childhood. Only now. That's the feeling you've been having. And for who knows how long. You should go and ask Joyce Messier about this. What world are we in? This is a fundamental question.
Ooh, plus 1 XP for every orb clicked. Like, every orb? Ooh, money. $40 real. Well, 0.40 real. Okay. Now is probably time for bed.
The window stands broke. You see some lights. The bed is cold and not particularly inviting.
Let's see.
The bed is cold.
Crawling.
The sheets feel at once coarse and clammy against your skin. The bed sags beneath your weight as you stretch out and finally close your eyes. And then sleep does. And then sleep doesn't come.
I want to sleep.
Obviously, you're in bed with your eyes closed, but it's not happening.
Why?
Maybe it's the bed's fault.
Check the pillow.
Its synthetic filling has separated into hard lumps. The pillowcase smells oddly. Smells of alcohol and sweat and grease.
Check the blanket.
It barely covers your toes, stretching over your soft belly. This is your body here, intimate and warm, breathing.
Roll over to the other side.
It's a little better. Colors, scenes, and half-formed phrases still litter your mind. Part of you is still trying to solve the case, isn't it?
Who killed him? Who?
Something to do with, what was it that the lieutenant said? Union? and it's gone again. Your thoughts lost between the slowing brain waves.
No more thoughts. Fall asleep now.
Your breathing steadies. A great silence washes over you until your eyelids twitch in your sleep and images start forming.
It's like wearing his boots in the dream.
Do you remember the scent of your childhood?
What is this?
What it says on the can, Harry. Answer the question.
His name's definitely Harry. I remember nothing, or I was born in a hospital where people usually go to bed.
Do you remember your wife's hand on your face?
Way out of place. I know what this is. I'm not answering before you tell me who you are. Is that here? Left. I was.
Do you remember the warmth of her thighs, between her legs and in her mouth? You know who I am. I'm the bad day. The one where you ask her, and then later in the streets, wondering. It's the worst day of all time, Harry dear. And it's coming. She will hear about it on the phone. Reality will turn into a grotesque nightmare. This will be the last thing you did to her. Tell me, do you remember the love of your life?
You left or I was left.
That's right, funky baby. And you just stood there. One hand on the bottle and the other on your dick. Watching her go. Let it all be dragged away from you. Tell me, where are your friends? Human beings have friends, Harry boy. Where the hell are yours?
I can get it right back.
No, it's gone. 3 times gone and never coming back. You failed. You failed me. You failed Elysium.
What is Elysium?
Everything. The Pale and the Aesolus. On the surface. The outer magnetosphere. Burning, furious truth. 8,000 years of written history. You really dropped the ball, Harry. 4.6 billion people. And you failed every single one of them. You really fucked up.
I've talked to you before.
No, Harry. You were just talking to yourself. That's all you ever do. Even in your dreams. And the act is wearing thin. The spots of the disco ball fade around you. You'll be back in those cold snakeskins in no time, sweating up the bed. Stinky boy.
Stinky boy. I'm come back from this.
You're not coming back from shit. Thrashing around in that high conductivity state of yours. Bumping into things and acting like a clown. Who are you kidding?
I'm trying to solve this case.
You're trying to what? I can't hear you. This is just a word dream now. Jumbled up garbage. The pictures are gone. The bed rises to meet you. A thin, sleep-like state. More glass than velvet, grinding in your head.
So something is wrong. Sleep shouldn't be this bad, this dry, this unnourishing. There's something wrong with your thoughts. Some kind of new type of hangover.
There's another type.
Oh yes, party boy, and it's worse than the one before. Just think of the shit you saw. Here it comes too, so soon already. A silent alarm goes off in your head like clockwork, barely let you sleep at all. Time to get those clothes on, Harry. Time to go to work in the shit factory.
Ooh, got 1 health back. 7:30 a.m.
Good going, buddy.
What was that?
Oh, just a dream. You have ones like that all the time. You feel even worse this morning than you did last night.
What's going on?
You mean, why are you so tired? Too tired and down to even think? It is worrying, isn't it? You can't be a detective like this. Detectives need to be able to think.
Why is this happening?
It's just that your heart has finally pumped all the speed out of your system, Buster. Time to get some more.
Oh, jeez. I was still on drugs yesterday.
You're too weak to say no now. Waking up is the worst part. Maybe somewhere down the line you could decline.
Addicted. Wait, what is speed?
Speed is a potent central nervous system stimulant. It kept you propped up all day yesterday, despite your debilitating hangover. How else did you think you even got up from this floor? It's power, man. It's professionalism. It makes you feel like you're young again and ready to detect. Ready to go to war against the world.
No, I can take this. I'm not going to go looking for speed.
Are you sure? Ready to live as this pathetic shell of yourself for days? Basically, a week? Let's be honest, 2 weeks. Maybe 3. You won't make it. Half the town will be dead by then. You will be fired.
That's a lie. I can do this without the speed. Half the town won't be dead.
Suit yourself, slow, sad shell man. See how you do without your spark.
That's gonna have repercussions. Okay.
A mirror hangs on the bathroom wall.
Do anything with the mirror. Should I take off my boots? I mean, Kim's gonna see him eventually. Kim did compliment the green snakeskin shoes, which makes me feel a little bad for taking them off and stealing the other shoes, but not bad enough, like, not to do it, you know? Upstairs. No. He gives you a quick nod.
Looks like we can get to work at once. The Union muscle turned up. They look rowdy. We should talk to them.
He points to the mess hall doors.
He won't even acknowledge the stolen boots you're wearing. For him, they don't exist. You'll have to bring it up yourself later, if you dare.
He definitely noticed. Why do we need to talk to them?
Everything points to the dock workers' union. The belt used for hanging him, tracks in the mud, the circumstances in Martinez, my preliminary information. Which may, of course, all be wrong. But we still need to talk to them, and it won't be easy.
What do you mean rowdy?
I mean ungovernable. Martinez isn't exactly enthusiastic about the RCM being here. They prefer to be policed by the Union. These men here, men who drink beer for breakfast, there's talk of an armed wing of the Union called the Hardy Boys, who are responsible for state policing. I think it's them.
Are these the men Gart told us about yesterday?
I completely forgot. Sorry, I had a rough night's sleep. It's them by the looks of it. Loud and nasty, just like the manager said. One loose thread less to worry about, and one big problem to replace it.
There's so many of them. Maybe we should call in reinforcements?
That would just escalate tensions. No captain would sign off on it. Solving one murder isn't worth a conflict between the RCM and the Debarders Union. In fact, even the death of 2 detectives might not warrant an all-out war. So let's keep a cool head, okay? One more thing before we do. We don't have to talk to them immediately. We can walk right past them, continue with our business.
Yeah, streetwise. Zoom right past. Do it on your own terms. But aren't you curious to know what they have to say about the murder?
They're in no hurry to leave. They think they own the place. Anyway, I leave that choice to you. Whatever you decide is fine by me.
Okay, so we can talk to them immediately, but we don't have to.
Can I help you? Got the 20 real? Then why are you wasting...
Just a moment.
The old woman turns back to the cafeteria manager.
And there's no public phones nearby?
The closest phone booth is down the coast. Sorry for the inconvenience, ma'am.
The cafeteria manager appears genuinely apologetic.
It's fine, I understand. Thank you anyway. I'm glad to see you again, dear.
She turns back to you with a weary smile. Good day, ma'am. Everything all right?
Please don't trouble yourself about me, sweetie. I was just hoping to make a call, but the Whirling's phone line isn't working.
Interesting.
The Union office probably has a phone, but I can't really get there. Or to the phone booth down the coast. And Gary's phone is dead too.
She sighs. Wait, what's wrong with the phone line?
The manager was vague about it.
She frowns.
Why would he be vague about phone problems? This is something to look into later. Ask
What?
God, maybe.
Why did you need to use the phone anyway?
To let the young woman who's house-sitting for us know that we may be delayed. Morel, my husband, and our friend Gary were supposed to get back by Monday night. But they're still missing, and I haven't heard from them.
Oh, that's not good.
I was also hoping she'd heard from Morel.
He looks down.
A little missing persons puzzle might just be the thing to take your mind off the hangover.
Yeah, I like her. I want to help. Okay, I'll bite. Has your husband gone missing before?
That's just it. This isn't like him at all. He always plans his expeditions so carefully. But you have more important things to worry about.
She glances out the window towards the bay.
More important than a missing expedition? I don't know. Expeditions often lead to something interesting.
What is this expedition your husband was on?
Just some field work, sweetie. Morel is a highly trained scientist. He and his assistant Gary are studying an extremely rare species of insect. But they should have returned by now. They were just going down the coast across the waterlock to set a few traps. He said they'd be back on Monday. What could be keeping them?
Day of the week, is it? Tuesday?
The water lock, that was broken. Could this be it?
Wait, who's this Gary person? Do you trust him?
Oh, sweetie, it's nothing like that.
She smiles.
Gary's as loyal as they come. I trust him with my husband's life any day.
The water lock to the other side of the coast is broken. They're probably just stuck over there.
Oh my. What happened to the water lock?
Probably just some technical problem.
Well, whatever the cause, I'm thankful. To both of you. You've spared me another sleepless night.
You're welcome, ma'am.
I hate to ask, but if your investigation takes you to the other side of the coast, please do keep an eye out for my husband.
Of course.
Yes, some left-field scientific research is exactly what you need right now. Funk up that vanilla murder investigation.
And if you see him, let him know Lena is waiting for him here at the Whirling. He gets so tangled up in his work that he may not know the water lock's been repaired. And it's cold out there.
If I see him, I'll let him know you're here. When or if I get there.
Oh, you're such a dear. Thank you, sweetie.
So your husband is some kind of scientist?
Oh, yes. A zoologist. A cryptozoologist, to be more precise.
She says with a pinch of pride. What is cryptozoology?
It's a pseudoscience that attempts to legitimize research into mythological beasts and urban legends.
The lieutenant sounds unimpressed.
That's one opinion, yes. And people are entitled to their opinions.
My apologies, ma'am. I did not mean to undermine your hobby.
It's not a hobby, dear. It's a subfield of zoology, one specializing in animal species that are so exceedingly rare that many assume them to be extinct or even fictitious.
I mean, makes sense that at least some of them would be real.
Searching for such species called cryptids is difficult and often thankless, and frankly, many scientists are too lazy to do it. Universities these days are rarely interested in supporting real research.
The quality of research at Revacholian universities has been on the decline, but you doubt there was ever a time when cryptozoology was embraced by the academic elite.
Tell me more about Morel. Looks, character, your relationship.
Oh dear, I'm not sure where to begin.
What does your husband look like?
Well, his expression is slightly grumpy, but his eyes are always bright and curious, like a small boy's. And his palms are quite coarse from all the field work, but he's quite gentle.
You can't go around Revachol feeling grown men's hands. If you want to find her husband, you'll need more concrete information.
Let's try again. Why don't you try describing him as you would one of your cryptids?
Oh, well, he's a bit shorter than you, but with a larger frame, and he has longish white hair, usually a bit uncombed. You might say wild, even.
The lieutenant pulls out his notebook and begins jotting down the woman's description.
One other thing, he'll likely have all kinds of field gear on him, even if he's not out in the reeds, you know, just in case.
How long have you been married?
We'll be celebrating our 16th anniversary this autumn. Not the most numerically satisfying anniversary, but I like the less obvious milestones even more somehow.
Her smile is soft. How did the two of you meet?
Via dating agency, I'm ashamed to say. I was looking to get back into the scene after recovering from my accident, and he'd just divorced. We hit it off, and, well, here we are.
She smiles wistfully.
She's skipping over some important parts. Perhaps you'll find out more later.
I think I have all the information I need. Let's move on.
I hope I've been useful.
Tell me more about this rare insect your husband is looking for.
Oh, sweetie, it's fascinating. But
She catches
I
herself.
shouldn't bore you with entomological minutiae.
The lieutenant gives you A sideways glance.
No, I want to hear about the insect.
Well, it's a phasmid, technically, but
Ah yes, Phasmatodea. A diverse group of insects whose bodies resemble twigs, leaves, that sort of thing. Ghost insects, colloquially.
Which would explain why it's so hard to find.
where other phasmids imitate sticks or leaves, this one's a living reed. It disguises itself among the reeds here on the Insulindian coast. Hence its name, the Insulindian phasmid. Perhaps you'll end up co-discovering the phasmid with us, officers.
She looks you in the eye and nods thoughtfully.
I knew it. We're gonna be chasing made-up insects with cryptozoologists.
Hey, that sounds fun.
It's not made up, officer. I can assure you. It's simply elusive, so much so that most establishment zoologists doubt it exists at all.
What makes you think the phasmid is around here?
Well, some teenagers making out in the reeds saw one. They didn't know what it was, of course, but there was a brief article in a local newspaper about their encounter with a ghost insect that looks like the reeds. Gary sent us the clipping.
So newspaper clipping is all the evidence you have?
Of course, most phasmid sightings turn out to be false alarms, but their description matched the Insulindian phasmid perfectly, and they didn't even know what they were looking at.
So, is it dangerous?
Not at all. Why else would it hide itself so carefully?
Is it valuable?
Oh, I doubt it. No one gets into cryptozoology for the money, sweetie.
Does it have cool powers?
Yes, it can blend in almost perfectly among the reeds. It's how it stayed hidden all these years, centuries even.
Her face lights up at the thought of it. Okay, what's so special about this stick bug then?
Oh dear, I'm afraid I'm not explaining this very well. It is very special.
The woman's face flushes with embarrassment.
Morel can explain it all much better. I wish you could hear him describe it. Then you'd understand, I'm sure.
Maybe you could convince her to tell you about some cool cryptids.
You're an enthusiastic idiot, but you're still an idiot.
I want to know everything about cryptids, living cryptids, extinct cryptids, marine cryptids, land cryptids. Bring it on.
We don't have time for Cryptozoology 101. Let's get back to work, shall we?
That's all for now, ma'am. Okay, and it's been about an hour, and I haven't eaten yet today, so getting off for now. Thank you all for watching. See you next time.